Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 4, live fan reactions. What an intense, very intense last couple minutes. Just the drum beat in the background was just driving me crazy. Thanks for waiting up. I got to get my thoughts together with this one. A lot of things went down in this episode. Before we get too far into it, just want to give a shout out to all the patrons. You can see the Patreon army up there on the screen. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. And let's get into tonight's. I think we had a super chat too. So thanks so much, Valar. Appreciate that. Oh my God, what an episode, says Valar. This is going to be crazy the last couple episodes. So we lost dragons. Goodbye, Ghost Ear. We lost Missandei. All right. We did ask earlier in the countdown to rate this episode from a 1 to a 10. What do you guys think? It had, it felt very Game of Thrones, I think. I mean, it had the mystique and the battles, and are they going to know? Are they not going to know? I swear I thought Bronn was going to fire an arrow by mistake and hit Jaime. And what is the deal with Jaime? Is he trying to protect his unborn child, and he's just trying to look like a bad guy so you kind of hate me a little bit and then I can, go kill the queen? Or, I got to figure that one out. I'm going to get a couple comments in here. Wow, this is going to be great. I don't even know what I want to react to first. It's like there's so many things that happen. I feel like I'm just a piece of taffy. Just gets pulled in a bunch of different directions. My emotions are just flipping around right now. So first and foremost, let me start by saying I lost a bet last week when we were in the stream. A couple people had said, they're gonna drink, they're gonna have a little bit of love making, make some babies, all that stuff, and I was like, nah. The troops are tired, they got to get back to war. And yeah, I did lose the bet because I said there's no way there's going to be any time for Jaime and Brienne of Tarth, and boy, they threw it in there. So I stand corrected. However, I am not backing off. I did like Varys talking about how Dany could be losing her mind, and she's being forced. I know at the end it might not have seen that because the audience is like, yes, vengeance. But before that happened, you really got to get to all the underlying issues. You could certainly see the jealousy taking place with Dany. When Jon would get a little bit of attention. Sansa's definitely got something planned. She's not trusting Dany at all. Let me get a couple comments in here. This reaction video, so if you guys are just joining, a lot of people are joining. You're like, wow, I get that. Leave your comments. I want to call in a couple people and get your thoughts into this video. So Roxanne Dunlap says, I said Missandei would die first. Grey Worm is going to go crazy. Yeah, that... I was at least hoping they would just push her. Don't do that. Don't decapitate her. Just a little shove. That was gruesome, man. Gruesome. Christina Good, heartbroken over Rhaegal. That happened fast. I was a little shocked by that too. I'm thinking like, okay, he could take a shot. He's a dragon. But boy, it was like shot after shot after shot. Don't mess with the Ironborn. I mean, so prepared. They knew it was coming. So, is it too early to is it too early for me to blame Dany for that sneak attack? I mean, let's see if it's just going to be a lot of hate. I didn't like it. I said this last week. I said that there would be some disagreement. I didn't know if it'd be Jon or who, but Sansa and Dany clearly had the words, and it was foreshadowing, right? Rest up, heal up, come up with a strategy. I thought it was too rushed. They just ran in there, cost you a dragon, and cost you a lot of boats. And Missandei, too. Yeah, tough emotional episode. But you do have Arya making her way there. You do have Jaime making his way there. You got Jon that's going to show up next week. So certainly, those are going to be a couple characters to watch. Also, you know what? I think everything is kind of in play right now. So we're probably split into thirds here. There were a certain group that has said that, look, Dany's going to, well, there's probably four different things here. One was that nobody gets the Iron Throne. That was something that was discussed. Number two was Jon would always be loyal to Dany. And that's still looking pretty solid, right? And then number three was, well, Jon and Dany would kind of have the throne together. And then number four was that Jon would get the throne. And number four was just more something that I was pushing a little bit. And I know several people had said, look, he doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. He's going to relinquish it. And all that came out tonight. And I thought it was very, very telling when Varys said, he asked what type of ruler he'd be. He has all the qualifications of being a ruler. And they just touched on it, but they didn't really develop it. And now here we are. You know, everything's going to hit the fan this coming up week. Yeah. Well, true. Cersei and Euron Greyjoy, I mean, they've got the ballistas, right? So how do you roll up on somebody like that? I mean, if there's one thing that Tyrion could have done, could they not have said they're going to be ready? Am I the only person who's just a little bit upset because they were ready and didn't? I mean, we said, look, Cersei's been waiting for this battle to go down. You guys kill each other. Your troops are going to be wounded. And then when you try to get us, we're going to be sitting here eating, drinking wine. We know you're coming eventually. We're just going to load our weapons. We're going to be ready to go. William, the Walking Dead Billboard, says, just give the Iron Throne to Arya. She's an assassin. Thanks, Ando1. Appreciate that. You guys do me a favor. A ton of people here in the stream. If I can get 200, 300, 400 people rocking here, everybody just pop that like button real quick. If you guys can Dracarys that like button, that would be awesome. And if you like what we do, if you like hanging out, talking about Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead, as was uncovered earlier this week, it looks like there could be as many as five spinoffs that could either be prequels. Several of them could be prequels. 3 of them, they said, are going over really well. We are going to add a lot of Game of Thrones content to our channel. This is just going to be a reaction video. We're not going to go scene by scene recap. We will do that tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, we're going to go a little bit deeper into Game of Thrones. Tonight, I want to get your emotion. I want to get your comments out there. Yes, the episode was leaked a little bit earlier, and the deaths were leaked as well. That's why we didn't do the countdown at 8 o'clock. It's around the same time. It's about 5 o'clock every Sunday. Lord Gendry. Yeah, that's got an interesting ring to it. There were 2 occasions that I thought Tyrion was going to die. I still was not 100% trusting of Bronn. And I got to tell you, let me ask the group, though, really quick. I want to get your emotion. What was the most intense moment from tonight's episode? What really kind of like had you on edge? Let's get your thoughts and comments. And remember, whatever you guys type, it is permanently included in this video, everything that you guys are streaming. Just to ask you guys, keep it respectable. One thing that does differentiate us from a lot of other channels out there is we like to chat, we like to debate, and we disagree on a lot of stuff. Just keep it respectable is all we ask. So Anna says the dragon being killed. Kim Jolly says the dragon dying was intense. You know what? Even when Bran, Jon, Sansa, and Arya were talking, I thought, somebody's going to die. Something's going to happen weird. Before he gets a chance to tell them the secret, And then, that kind of went. And then a little bit later, it was Tyrion talking to Sansa, and I'm like, something's going to happen. And then when Varys was talking to Tyrion, I'm like, something. So I got to tell you, here's just a bold prediction, all right? Tyrion is going to die next week is my prediction. I'm just going to say it. and I'll tell you why. Because there were so many scenes tonight that I felt like was prepping you for a Tyrion death. There were at least 4 scenes where it felt like, is something going to happen to Tyrion? Is something going to happen? I mean, all the way to the very end. The dude is brave. He walked right up to the gate. When she had her hand up, I'm thinking, she's ruthless. She's just going to shoot him. Anita, super chat. Good evening, Army. Wow, what an episode. I'm still shaking, but wait, I deserve big apologies. Didn't we get a nice Brienne and Jamie scene? So Anita was on I think a 10-minute lag. So I do have to say, I go back and watch the first couple minutes, Anita. I did start this stream by saying that I lost a bet. So I've announced that to the entire army. I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought they got to go fight. But, man, they burnt the bodies. Then they had a feast. Then they had a party. And then they just started letting it all hang out, literally. Dorothy Martin, hope Danny lights them up next episode. This certainly does have a Danny's going crazy scene to it. So the question I would say is it even possible for Danny to keep her sanity at this point? I mean, look, she's lost 2 dragons. She lost the person that loved her, Jorah. She lost Missandei. I mean, she's losing everybody. I certainly think the madness is probably a very, very, very real possibility. Of all the theories we talked about, that's one that's starting to really wear on me a little bit. I think she's going to go nuts. I think any normal person would be close. And she's not normal. She's got it running through her bloodline. There's going to be some burning next week. A lot of innocent people are probably going to die. Burn them all. Yeah, I was honestly, I'm sorry. I was more sad over Ghost Ear than I was over the dragon. It just kind of moved me a little bit. So, once again, if you guys are tuning in a little bit late, this is just a reaction video. We're not going to go scene by scene, but I do have to ask this question. I got to ask the group. Not the most intense moment, but what was of your reaction, what was the most shocking? And, I think that might be a little bit different. For some people, it may be Rhaegal being shot down. I think for me that was the most shocking. Maybe it wasn't the most intense. The most intense scene for me was Bronn. Bronn with that crossbow. I really thought he was just accidentally, like he was there for a purpose, but then I thought he might just accidentally shoot him. We got another super chat in here. We got Dorothy Martin says, I think Danny is losing it. She's lost too many people. Yeah, and can we all agree that I agree with you? Well, I'm not going to ask it like that. I'm not going to say, can we all agree? How many people think that there's no way that Sansa and Danny can coexist? Instead of asking the question that way, I'm going to ask more of a loaded question. William says Dany is becoming the Carol of Game. I don't know. I don't know, William. So most people are saying there's no way that they will coexist. Lakeisha says Sansa can see right through her. So, if there's no way that Dany and Sansa can coexist, could we say that one of them probably will not survive the season? And if you had to pick, which one may not survive the end of the season? Because, look, they're either going to exist or they're not going to exist. And if you don't think they can coexist, you got to think that one of them is not going to make it. We got some saying both will die. Ray Beard's like, take Sansa. She sucks anyway. June Smith, Dany is cracking and Jon and her will be a Romeo and Juliet ending. Yeah, June, the thing is, I mean, in Romeo and Juliet, well, both of them. I don't think... I think Jon is going to... I feel like Jon is going to have the burden of the throne. Okay, so I got another follow-up question. I need just your straight, unfiltered reactions. Am I the only one that was a little bit disappointed in Jon and a little bit creeped out that he kept bending the knee and carried on the relationship? Were you guys cool with that? Because I wasn't. Nerve says no one gets PTSD from the Army of the Dead. No one got, sorry. He was drunk. He was whooped. Should have rode his drag and still be alive. I agree, Ray. Did not like that. He said, doesn't need the weight of me weighing him down. Yeah, you know, when Jon gave the speech for all the dead, I thought, you know, he's making some progress here. But then after a couple drinks, and it was, you know, you always be the queen, and she pretty much just said to him, no, this is the only way, and you will do it my way, period. Oh, by the way, even though you're the rightful king, you're still going to listen to me. That bothered me a little bit. Let me get a couple more comments in here. So, Logan says, just my opinion, but this episode was better than last week's. I don't think so. For me, it wasn't. That's a good question. I want to ask the Army. What do you guys think? Better or worse than last week? I thought last week was amazing. I'm going to say no, but that's just me. William the Walking Dead Billboard says, I think Jon may be playing Dany He's ready for what she has coming. Last week, equal. Last week was better. History buff says both are bad. Really? You know, can you guys ban this Miami moron? Dude, go away. Miami, here's the deal. When we block people like you, it makes like 100 other cool people like want to stay here. So just don't attend. We got Fusions Ignite says, I don't think Ghost is done. I think they purposely didn't show Jon saying goodbye to him, maybe to save Jon from Daenerys. It's a good point. And don't forget, we still have Arya going to King's Landing. So, you guys think maybe Arya could get Greyjoy face? You're on Greyjoy and maybe creep up on Cersei? That would be a nice... It's going to have to be somebody that she can get close to. I went back and forth on whether Arya would kill Cersei. Because Arya got the Night King kill, I thought maybe it'd be somebody else. But now I'm thinking, yeah, they may have to just let her keep doing what she does. Maybe just let Arya kill everybody. I agree, Walter. So, I don't know. It's just like everything Arya does at this point is cool. Just the conversation with Gendry, pick somebody else. I'm not a lady. And then with Jon, we need to have a word with you. I thought that was great. Just divert his attention. It's family time here. Your girlfriend can wait. It's family time. See, Leslie Wyatt, that's what I thought too, and that's why I keep going back and forth. That it does seem like Arya would be too obvious, that it needs a twist to it. But maybe not. Maybe we're overthinking it. It's going to be more simple than we think. Eric Beach says, sorry, I'm late, just finished. Cersei drew a line. Adol Wolf says, Arya kills Cersei, but with Jaime's face. It is interesting, and it is very convenient that Jaime is making his way back. So I'm going to ask you guys really quick, and we'll do this during the week. What were your thoughts on Jaime leaving Brienne of Tarth? Sir, Brienne, sorry. Want to get a few thoughts in here. He had to do it. Couldn't just kind of sit back and let the battle happen. He's a dog. He felt something for Cersei. See, Julia, I agree. And I'm going to tell you why you should trust Jaime Lannister. We do something here. We funnel it down. You guys do me a favor. If you're enjoying Game of Thrones, if you like getting involved in our reaction videos, if you want to be involved in what we do tomorrow night with the recap, do me a favor. Just hit the thumbs up button. Let everybody know that you're piking that like button. So I'm going to give you a real quick observation. It made perfect sense for Jaime to leave and for you to trust him. Because he really wanted to stay with Brienne, which is why he stayed in the first place. If he wanted to leave, he wouldn't have went through all the hurdles. When he found out that there was a chance that they could lose, that the dragon had been killed, is when he had trouble sleeping and he had to leave. He knew he could get close to Cersei, which is why he's leaving. So he didn't say, I love her. He said, I did this for her. I would have done that for her. I pushed somebody out a window for her. And he basically said, look, we're the same. Jaime is basically saying to Brienne, I will fight fire with fire. He's not saying like, oh, she's going to die. I love her and I'm going back to her. That, if you thought that, you missed the big picture. Something changed. He was content to stay there because, hey, maybe there's a chance that Dany will take the dragons in and boom, they'll take over and I'm already where I need to be. I'm comfortable. But when the dragon died, he felt like, I can't just sit idly by. I have to do something. Now, it doesn't mean he will. I'm worried about him. But I think to the point earlier, could Arya sacrifice Jaime to get to Cersei? Just a thought. Arya obviously could get the job done. Fusion says Daenerys is killed and Jon rides Drogon. Hey, you know what? Fusion, possible. Not till the finale, but possible. Look, I don't want Jaime to die. I mean, but I don't think anybody wanted Missandei to die either. I mean, we don't want anybody to die unless it's Cersei and you're in great. I mean, you know, there are people. But for the most part, look, there's got to be a lot of death the last couple weeks. There's still a lot that's going to go down. 2 more episodes. I mean, we're there. And I know they were drinking, and I know you could say, okay, it's just because he found out, you know, Brienne was a virgin, you know, all of those things. But he decided to stay. And there was another moment. Valar says, no, I'm hurting. There was another moment that happened earlier, and I think he was willing to let it go. But when he found out the dragon was dead, it magnified it. And that's when Bronn sort of punked him, right? He was going to stand up and defend Tyrion. And Bronn pretty much said, you're nothing anymore. I could take you down. You used to be somebody. And I think he stored that a little bit, right? But he was still okay because, you know, he's going to stay here. The war's going to be over. And, you know, he's got his new girl. But then when he found out, I think that previous conversation with Bronn just kind of resonated and boiled up. And he's like, you know what? I'm Jaime freaking Lannister. I'm as bad as Cersei. I can take her down. So, just something to keep watching. Oh, absolutely, Ando. Bronn is not just questionable. He's beyond questionable. I would certainly keep an eye on Bronn. He's going to go to the highest bidder. William, the Walking Dead Billboard, says, I can't picture this ending in 2 episodes. There's a lot to do. It certainly is. There's a lot. I feel like there's going to be a lot of death. That maybe this long night was just setting us up for even a bigger battle of King's Landing. We've had some pretty bold predictions, though, and I think, well, I guess with so many people predicting, one of them's going to be right. But keep in mind something we said a couple of weeks ago. I'm not going to flaunt the theory just yet, but I want this to sink into everybody. Mark my words, and this was a quote. Sometimes those that are leaders are forced into the situation. It's not always about who wants the throne. We can clearly see Dany wants the throne. Cersei wants the throne. Jon does not. Now, whether he gets it or not remains to be seen. We know he's the rightful heir. But it's a burden, right? I mean, didn't I say that leadership is not just about the quest of being a leader? Sometimes being a leader is a big burden. And that would go for anybody except for the two that want it. So we've heard of spinoffs and prequels, but I'm going to ask this, and how many people feel 100%, even though this is the end of Game of Thrones, that the survivors of this are certainly going to be in the next chapter? This is almost going to be like a continuation. I think it's too hot. I think it's too epic. I think there's no way they just close the chapter on this story. I mean, that's just my feeling. It's too good. I mean, it's at its prime. And you know what? If there's a couple spinoffs and you still have a couple of the current characters, it's like our Walking Dead movie. I mean, we still get Rick. All right, we're coming up on about 30 minutes, so we like to keep our reaction videos to about 30 minutes. I know everybody's super, super charged up, fired up, ready to talk about the next chapter. So tomorrow night, we are going to be doing a Game of Thrones recap. So no random things tomorrow night. We're going to add to this a little bit. I know last week it was a little bit half and half, but we are going to break this episode down because there's only a couple episodes to go. So during this week, we want to get down to not only what happened, but how quickly all of this is going to transpire. There's so much more that still keep that Varys and Tyrion conversation in the forefront of your mind. Like, what will they do to protect the realm or the people or the kingdom? I mean, whatever your allegiance is, we're really going to find out who's genuine, who's pure, and what people's, not just the two main characters fighting, but all the little sub-characters. It's going to be important to see how this plays out. Valar Super Chat and said, did everyone notice Sansa made a promise and broke it like Cersei? I did, and it just seemed, even when Sansa said it, it's like, yeah, I promised. I didn't think that was going to hold true, not even for a minute. And now 8 people know. Oh, it's like Varys said. It's not a rumor. It's not a secret. It's information. Now that many people know. Tommy Man Bun McCandless still not caught up in a long day. Love to the army. And Sansa is certainly a character that I don't think we should underestimate. They've been building her up. She actually said something really, really touching. And I'm going to talk about this tomorrow night too. But when she had the conversation and she was talking about how tough she was and everything that happened to her with Ramsay Bolton, her experiences made her strong. I'm certain she holds grudges, but she sees it as part of her path. I'm where I am, and I'm not a little bird anymore because of all these bad things that have happened to me. I think that's going to become a big, big storyline before the end of the season. So don't sleep on Sansa's ability. She's in the background a little bit, still in the background a little bit, but those glares, that toughness, that division between where Jon's loyalty lies, someone's going to have to convince Jon that Dany might not have everybody's best interest at heart. And with that, I got one more super chat, everybody. The sweetest bee you'll ever meet. Did Jaime diss Brienne so she didn't follow? No. Jaime did that to Brienne of Tarth to try to make her hate him and not miss him in case he dies doing what he needs to do. He knows that there's feelings. He knows that there's a relationship. It had nothing to do with whether she's going to, be a knight and come in to save him. He wants her to think she's a dog so she doesn't miss him when he's gone, because he knows there's a good chance he'll never come back. She wasn't going to follow him. She might now, but I don't think it was about that. I think it was he needed to make her get over him as quick as possible. That's why I did it. Look, I'm a dog. He said some things to her that had to hurt her. Like, he never said he loved Cersei, but he made her think that. He was like, I would have done this for her. I would have done this for her. I would have done this. And he was just trying to make her feel like crap. Like, don't fall for me. I'm not worth it. You think I'm a good man? I'm not worth it. I'm a pig. Don't waste your emotions on me. Go find somebody else. Because now I hope he gets a chance for the truth to come out and to really let him know how he felt about her. But, yeah. William the Walking Dead billboard says 999 ladies, flowers, 999 guys, fist bump, and kills, flowers. 999 family, y'all have a great night. So with that, everybody, it makes me feel Jaime is going to makes me feel he's going to die a really rough death, and we're going to miss him a lot more. So, all right. Hey, tune in tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, everybody. We're going to be back here doing a little bit of recap, talking about the show. Want to get everybody's thoughts. Want to get everybody's opinions included in it. Great show tonight, but once again, I think they're going to have a tough time beating last week. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya. Peace.